Thank you, Shane McGowan. You beautiful thing.
Important theme in the later religions of the world.
Welcome, everybody.
So find it is a spiritualization of this.
What's cracking? How you doing?
But then,
what up, Doe?
First cities appear in Mesopotamia about 3000 BC. Large communities grow up based on agriculture. Planting has to take place a certain time, reaping a certain time, and there are professional priests watching the heaven to know when those times were, when those came. And those men became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. And they calculated and recognized that these planets were moving in mathematically inevitable courses. And the idea came into being. Men became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical precision. Men became aware The day comes and goes, the year comes and goes,
What's cracking, baby? How you doing? Welcome to the thing.
and the whole society must
Welcome to the thing.
accord with that.
It's a beautiful day to be alive.
This idea that the human society should reproduce the heaven
Who was at the Atlas Society Q&A earlier?
with the stars, and this still lives with us in our religions. All of our religions have inherited this motif from the old Babylonian world. It went out with the
What up, Mel? Says, I think I'm the only one who knows about Meaningwave in my country.
China.
Shouts out from the Philippines. Grateful that I found you by searching Stoic music last year. No way.
And you see these
Hey, guess what? You're not the only one in the Philippines.
powers that represent
Is Jason Evett in the building?
it's the axis of the world around which the world turns. As it does around the pole star
We got many Meaningwave enjoyers in the Philippines. We got someone very important to the whole Meaningwave
and society.
organization in the Philippines, in fact.
People in it.
Shouts out to the Philippines. I will be visiting soon.
It's moving in a great course.
God willing.
Society and the individual in it are like the planet. It's moving in a great course. Men became aware
Yeah!
of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical precision. Men became aware
Man became aware.
of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. The neighbors now were the stars and the planets. Now in the 1920s, Sir Leonard Woolley, excavating in the graveyards of Ur, found graves in which there were 40 people buried, all of them in court attire, who had been buried alive. When the king died or was killed, at a certain time, in movement of the planets, when the moon goes down and the planet Venus along with the moon, that was the end of an eon. The king and his entire court walked into the grave. They were playing a game. Just as the hunters were imitating animals, just as the planting people were imitating plants, so the high civilizations began with princely, aristocratic little groups imitating the stars to the death, going all the way. The whole court at the end of an eon went in the grave so that another court could come. Men became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical
Precision.
Men became aware
With the movement.
of the planets through the fixed stars. The neighbors now were the stars. It's a very poetic thing, really.
You dig!
The little girls who played the harps. We have these harps. They have been excavated and restored. These little skeleton hands. The girls' hands were still on the harp strings. The women in one of the graves had golden hair ribbons. One girl didn't have her golden hair ribbon on. It was found in her pocket. She had been late to the party and hadn't had time to put her ribbon on. Well, now we don't do that anymore. That kind of action has fallen into desuetude. Nevertheless, the king still wears the golden crown of the sun. The sense has gone, yet the poetry somehow echoes.
gods. What? Where is it? There we go. Perfect. Oh, what a sick end. Ah, baby, let's go. What's cracking out there? Make some noise for yourself. Make some noise for Shane McGowan. I don't know if any of you know Shane McGowan or how many of you know Shane McGowan. Shane McGowan was a singer in a band called the Pogues. I used to like them a lot when I was a little kid. There was a period of time. My dad is a lot like me in ways that he'll find a new record, he'll play it intensely for a short amount of time, then move on. He gave me a great musical education. There was a period when I was young when there was the Pogues had an album called Rum Sodomy and the Lash. Incredible title. The Pogues are an Irish punk band. They were kind of sort of Irish folk / punk band. They're like partly the Clash, partly Irish folk. American bands that came after them, a lot of American bands were influenced by them. A lot of the American sort of pop punk, I guess. Particularly the Irish stuff was influenced by the Pogues. Very intense, very beautiful. I love that Rum Sodomy and the Lash album. Soju Tej says, yes, we know Shane. A surprise he lasted this long. That's what everyone's been saying. That's what I said. I mean, like, you know, I hung out with him a little back in the day. He was going super hard. I mean, he's always been going super hard. He's one of those guys who's just, you know, goes super hard. What was that lovely song he had? I think it was a cover. I am going where streams of whiskey are flowing. He did live in that manner. But, you know, he died in his 60s, which is, you know, that's what both my granddads did. Actually, was one of my granddads make 70? My Polish granddad was in his early 60s, you know. But people, you know, back in the day, 60s is good. When you lived like Shane McGowan, and you know, he went out surrounded by people who loved him. You know, he had one of those Twitter feeds that were, I don't follow many bands on Twitter X. I like his one. It was nice stuff that is, you know, his girlfriend would post pictures of him and poetry and nice little messages, and it was you know, some artists, musicians, their social media feeds are just them parroting whatever's you're supposed to parrot this week politically and stuff of that nature. His stuff wasn't that. It showed a sort of beautiful side of him, and it was nice to see. You know. Anyway, I'm very grateful for what you know, the music of Shane's that I enjoyed in my life and the little time we spent in Camden back in the day. Or was it? Actually, no, it was Highbury. In Highbury and Islington back in the day. Shane McGowan, you know, he like me. He was very, very into music. Sort of ran to London in his teens, had a fanzine, all that stuff. He was a passionate young man who was very, very, you know, he was assured of what he wanted to do, and he went and he did it. What up, James McGaw? Thank you for the support, you bad man. Says the bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world. He who would be born must first destroy a world. Herman Hesse. Facts. I mean, what you gonna do? Some things are in our control.
Some things are in our control.
And others not.
Some things are in our control.
And others not. Some things are in our control. And others not. Some things are in our control. And others not.
Aye, things in our control.
Aye.
Opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever our own actions.
Whatever our own actions.
Things are not in our control. Body, property, reputation, command, and in a word, whatever our not our own actions.
Whatever our Own.
Action. The things in our control are by nature free. Unrestricted and unhindered.
Unrestricted and unhindered.
It's not in our control. A weak, dependent, restricted, alien, restricted, alien. Remember then, if you suppose the things which are dependent are also free and take for thee what belongs to others, then you will be hindered. You'll lament, you'll be disturbed.
Aye.
You'll find fault with gods and men.
You'll find fault with gods and men.
Some things are in our control,
And others not. Some things are in our control, and others not. Yo!
some things are in our control,
And others not. Some things are in our control, and others not.
and some things are in
What's cracking, baby?
and others not.
We're in the house. You are also in the house.
Some things are in
Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. Let me know where you are. And something that's in your control.
others not. But if you things are in our control,
And others not.
some things are in our control,
And others not.
some things are in our control,
And others not.
some things are in our control.
And others not.
But if you things are in our control,
2076 says snack time.
things are in our
Yeah, snack time is in your control.
some things are
That's very much in your control. Don't get it twisted.
some things are in our control.
And others not.
But if you take for your own, be that which is your own, you what belongs to others, such as it really is. No one will ever compel you, no one will ever restrict you. You'll find fault with no one, you will accuse no one. You will do nothing against your will. No one will hurt you, you'll have no enemy, and you will not be harmed. Aiming there for such great things, remember you must not allow no tendency in yourself to be trained to retain those lesser things. Says you must entirely quit some, and for now postpone the rest. But if you would both have these great things along with power and riches, you'll not even gain the latter, cause you aim at the former, and you'll fail at the former, by which alone happiness and freedom are achieved.
Some things
In our control,
and others not.
some things are in our control,
And others not.
some things are in our control,
And others not. What?
some things are in our control,
And others not.
some things are in
Meaningwave outside of zone. Let me know where you at and some of this in your control for the international high five.
others not,
Sodra Taj at the rink. My attitude.
others not,
That's right.
things are in our control.
That's in your control.
Work then, so to say,
Right.
to every harsh appearance.
Parents.
You are but an appearance.
Yeah.
And by no means the real thing. And then examine it by those
Rules which you have.
And first and chiefly this,
And first and chiefly this.
whether it concerns things in our control, or those which are not.
All those which are not.
And if it concerns anything not in our control,
Well,
be prepared to say that it is nothing to you.
nada. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, what a banger. Good Lord. Lie low. My thoughts lull. I know what you're lulling about. You're right. Well, you're right in that, like, you don't necessarily what control what thoughts enter. In the same way that you don't necessarily control the weather. But you are in control of what you allow to linger and what you allow yourself to focus on. A thought may come, a thought may go. It is up to you whether you hold on to that thing and what direction you choose to go in. But you know, elephant just appeared in front of my inner mind vision. I didn't put that there. It just popped up for no good reason. A pink one from one of them Disney films. Por qué? Lane Stewart, Red Oak Wood of Happy Land, my aim. That's so real. Shecky Pavel set in the dining area. Dinner and desserts are in my control. Yes, they are. 2076. Quoting Marcus. Focus every minute like a Roman. You can only do one thing at a time. If you are doing what is most important for you to attend to, then you are doing everything you can in that moment. So, focus! Indeed. So, Mel, my reaction towards the uncontrollable. Badoom. Ill Ink Denver, my habits are in my control. It's first show. Austin, H-Town, my Meaningwave drip. For real. For real, Pykeon. What I feed my mind is in my control. For real! Jake Raymond, Michigan, studying for test tomorrow. Good for you. Cosmic Kangaroo, Australia, near the filming site of the original Mad Max. I can't control how things are, but I can control my impression of them. Bars.
Some things that I control.
Others not.
Some things are in our control.
Others not.
Some things are in our control.
Others not.
Some things are in our control. And others not. Some things are in our control.
And others not. Some things are in our control. And others not. Some things are in our control.
And others not. Some things are in our control. And others not.
Jocko, I am a chronic excuse maker. How do I stop making excuses and get things done?
Chronic excuse maker. How do you stop making excuses?
International high five.
This is actually pretty simple.
3,
I said it the
2,
other day, you have to realize you have
1.
to know.
Hi.
You have to accept
Oh.
your excuses are lies.
Afraid so, baby. Your excuses are lies. Think about
Lies you use to rationalize.
taking the easy road.
Taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind.
Your excuses are lies.
Think about them. You don't have time. That's a lie.
Lies.
You don't have support. That's a lie. You don't have the equipment or the gear. Lies. You don't know the best way. Who cares? That's a lie. Or you're too old, or you're too young. Of course, you're too old or too young.
Lies.
And there's you're too busy. Sure you are. That's a lie.
Oh, your excuses
Are lies.
Oh, your excuses are lies.
Think about the lies you use to rationalize.
Taking the easy road, taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind. Your excuses are lies.
And you're too tired, or you're too sore, or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies, lies, lies.
Wow.
The list goes on
On
and on.
and it don't stop.
If you don't make it stop.
If you don't make it stop. Hey,
So
hey.
recognize. Recognize the excuses are not valid. They aren't.
Nah.
They're trumped up. They're conjured up. They're fabricated.
What are they?
They're
Lies! Yo! Let's go. Oh! Your excuses are lies. Oh! Your excuses are lies.
Think about the lies
Aye.
you use to rationalize.
Taking the easy road. Taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind. Your excuses are lies.
And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. The truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will stand, and the truth will deliver you from procrastination
Ooh.
and laziness and the downward spiral that comes with a lack of discipline. So, don't believe the lies, believe the truth. But the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
Whoa.
So, cast out the lies, burn them down, and listen to the truth. Then live the truth and go out and get it done.
Man, how about that? What a banger. What a banger from the modern day Marcus. Jocko, his very self. What's cracking, baby? How you all doing out there? It's Akira the John. We are broadcasting live. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's a beautiful thing to be here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And yeah, it's lovely to hang out with you all. How are you guys? What's going on with you guys? It's Thursday. We've been back at it for a week, I do believe. I do believe we kicked off this time last week, something like that. I think it was this time last week. Maybe it was the day before. Either way. How do you think it's going? Are you enjoying it? I'm enjoying it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty intense, right? I'll be in the studio, and I go straight from the studio to the gym. And then I run from the gym. I come back here. I have a protein shake. I jump in the shower. I come in here. I switch on the cameras. I press those buttons, you know what I mean? And then we just go like that, you know what I mean? We just go like that, you know, giggity, we go, and it's cool. I feel the momentum building. You know what I mean? What you'll say? 2076, slaying demons and conquering chaos all day. Come on. Lai Law, Nakikso. How does a person say that? Like Nakikso? Says yes. What up, Sstoic? Good to see you, baby. Full killer. What's up, Mel Bryan, Win Stanley? Truth will set you free. Grant delay. Akira's at it again. This is excellent. Your excuses are lies. Also, zero time for slanders. Psycheon with the important questions. Akira the Dawn, what flavor is your electrolyte? This particular electrolyte, this is it. It's a fresha. Sabor fresha. The Rojo one. It's Rojo. I go through like phases of which one is my favorite. This is my second favorite this week. And the kiwi and strawberry one is my favorite this week. A couple of weeks ago is the guava one. And then I did too much of the guava one and I can't do the guava one anymore. But they make a mad difference, man. When I was in Mexico, like for the first, I don't know how long, I was having problems with like my energy, and like I started doing CrossFit, and I was in such pain and agony. I was so sore and I was so tired, and you know I hadn't really done that kind of exercise before, so I had to put it down to that. But then after a few months of it, I was still really sore and tired. It's like maybe it is my all meat diet. You know, I wrote McKenna Peterson an email. Because, you know, she'd been doing this and keeping data and stuff. And I said, McKenna, I said, you know, like, do you have any problems with, like, being, like, knackered and shit? I don't think I said exactly that, but it was something along those lines. Anyway, she suggested that it might be electrolytes. I'd never even thought about electrolytes. I didn't know what an electrolyte was. I thought that was like a power you got. I thought that was a power in a Spider-Man comic. You know what I mean? I thought that's what that was. Anyway, I added electrolytes to my regimen, but I was instantly fucking fine. Instantly, boom! Like, zero problema. It's crazy. So then after a while, I kind of sort of, so I dialed in electrolyte adding to the routine. And then I kind of forgot about it. I'd do like one a day or whatever. But I was just going to the gym drinking water, because I used to take an electrolyte to the gym, but I think I was overdoing it. I was doing multiple. And my teacher, he was like, you need to chill on them things, man. They probably ain't too good for you. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm just drinking water. And then I started getting all knackered again, and then one of the homies was like, why ain't you doing electrolytes anymore? So then I bought electrolyte in the next day, and I had mad energy again. So now I'll be back on I just have the electrolyte at gym, and I go super hard, and that's groovy, baby. Today was brutalis. Well, what did we do today? Ran 1,000 meters, did 50 overhead squats, 400 jump rope, did the whole thing again. Putting in that work! That work! You dig. Adam Gomez, hello, says your Charlie Brown Christmas mix video stays on repeat for me. Thanks, man. We just dropped volume 6 last week. Everyone's favorite annual Christmas tradition. And tomorrow we're coming with a bonus special edition, The King of Lo-Fi Christmas. 4-hour mix. Lovingly mixed and blended all of the Akira the Don Lo-Fi Christmas music and some new shit. Like mixed, as in blending the tracks into each other, nicely mixed for 4 hours. What I tell you, I said to you, I promised you the soundtrack for your life. Not messing around. Paul Harvey!
Which looks forward to with less enthusiasm.
Stoic Paul Harvey.
Well, that's probably true.
Michael is about to hit the bench. Get after it.
If we're talking about a secular sermon.
What did you say? Or am I going to say? I'm about to bench myself. Looks like you said.
America was set in place
You
one
should bench yourself.
time. Now that represents a lot of...
Calla says.
America the Beautiful is not an accomplished fact guaranteed to remain intact. God shed his grace on thee, to be sure, but this was wasteland when God had it to himself. He handed man a hoe and said, you want another Eden? All right.
Earn it!
And all that's necessary for the weeds to take over again is for you and me to lay down that hoe.
You dig? Lay down that hoe.
Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular than the gospel of hard work. Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular. Get to work. We tell our young people how our country was carved out of the wilderness. No, it wasn't. Our nation was hammered and hoed and chopped and dug and sawed and clawed out of the wilderness by bare-handed men. Nothing for nothing. America did not start with agricultural production of the awe and envy of the world. It was seeded first by sod-busting farmers who fought Indians and ranchers and cold and heat and drought and bugs and flood and one another. The fruited plain sprang forth from barren acres only after they had been watered with a lot of sweat. Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular than the gospel of hard work. Work.
Hey.
Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular. Get to work. I guess what I'm saying is that the more history I study, ours and others, the more certain I am that there is one fertilizer essential to the survival of civilization. And that fertilizer is sweat. And I don't mean perspiration. I mean the kind of steamy, streamy, salty sweat that's wrung from a man by hard physical work. Somehow, the sweat gets into the soil of a farm or a factory or a city or a state or a nation. And everything thereabouts grows tall and strong and tough enough to stand against any storm. But the day the sweat dries up, the soil dries up. And whole civilizations are buried in dust.
Work.
Work. Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular than the gospel of hard work. 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 Hard work. There is no gospel less popular. Get to work. Get to work. Come out!
Hey.
Work.
What?
Work.
What?
Hard work.
What?
Work. Hard work. 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 Work.
Hard work.
Get to work.
Work. Work. Work. Hard work. There is no gospel less popular than the gospel of
Get
hard
to
work.
work.
Work. Work.
Work.
Hard work. There is no gospel less popular.
Get to work. 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 Hard work.
As if it's Deadwood.
Get to work. Work.
What should move forward in time with me? And what should be let go as if it's Deadwood? The more Deadwood that you let go of and burn off, when you have the opportunity, the less it accretes around you. Deadwood. 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 Here's something interesting about forest fires. People have been trying to prevent forest fires for a long time. It's because forest fires burn up the forest, and that can't be good. But here's what happens if you don't let forest fires burn. Forests collect a lot of dry branches, right? Because tree branches die and wood falls on the forest floor and collects. The amount of flammable material keeps increasing with time. And that's not so bad if it's wet, but if the amount of flammable material is increasing and it gets really dry, and then it burns, then you have a real problem. The forest fire can burn so hot that it burns the topsoil right off, in which case you don't have a forest at all anymore, you just have a desert.
Deadwood.
Deadwood.
What's up, gang? How you doing? Lay waste to that lake. If you're locked in live right now, and even if you're not, I would recommend you attack that
Deadwood.
lake, nuke that thing from orbit, drone strike that lake.
Lots of trees are evolved to withstand forest fires of a certain intensity, and some won't even release their seeds unless there's been a fire. And so a little bit of fire at the right time can stop everything from burning to the ground. And that's also a really useful insight, a metaphorical insight into the nature of sacrifice, right? It's also a lot easier to let go of something when you're deciding to let go of it, because you've decided yourself that you're done with that. It's a weak part of you. It needs to disappear. If you do that yourself, it's much better and much easier than it is if it's taken away from you forcibly, in which case you're very much likely to fight it. Deadwood.
What's up? We're gonna dedicate this to Bleat Llama.
Deadwood.
Deadwood was the first Meaningwave song I ever heard. Well, shit.
Deadwood. As you elevate your aim, you create a judge at the same time. The new ideal, which is an ideal you, that becomes a judge because it's above you. The judge tells you what's useless about yourself, and then you can dispense with it. And you want to keep doing that, and then every time you make a judge that's more elevated, then there's more useless you that has to be dispensed with. And then if you create an ultimate judge, which is what the archetypal imagination of humankind has done, say, with the figure of Christ, you have a judge that says, get rid of everything about yourself. It isn't perfect. Deadwood.
Whoa.
Deadwood. 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 It's a phoenix-like process, right? You're shedding all those elements of you that are no longer worthy of the pursuits that you're evaluating. And then I would say the idea here is that as you do that, you shape yourself ever more precisely into can withstand the tragedy of life and that can act as a beacon to the world. That's the right way of thinking about it. Maybe first to your friends and then to your family. It's like it's a hell of a fine ambition, and there's no reason that it can't happen. You know, every one of you knows people who are really bloody useful in a crisis and people that you admire, right? You can think of all those people as partial incarnations of the archetypal Messiah. That's exactly right. Deadwood. 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 Deadwood.
Generally useful and admirable that person is in a multitude of situations, and we don't know the limit to that.
Yeah. L Inc., what's up? Says withstand the tragedy of your life. Exactly.
And I'm gonna say the exact opposite of what today's world is saying. So we read a bunch of books nowadays. As humans, we want to find out how to be someone else. We don't do it. We don't go inside. So literally turn yourself inside out. Like we're writing a book every day of our lives, but we never read that book. You have to look inside of yourself to see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just fucking words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now, someone may think Goggins is just talking. You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience.
I speak from...
I speak from suffering.
The only way you'll ever going to get to the other side of that journey is you have got to suffer.
To grow, you must suffer. I speak from suffering.
Yeah. Make some noise, Meaningwave.
Some people get it, and some people won't.
Goggins emojis in the chat.
But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives. And they have great kids, the kids go to college, all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path.
Left or right on this path.
They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better
I speak from
suffering. I speak from suffering. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer.
To grow. To grow, you must suffer. I speak from suffering.
Every day, we're seeing who we are as people. When I was growing up, I lied for people to accept me because I didn't accept myself. So I would make up stories so that you would accept me into your world. Everything I did was for someone else to like me. It wasn't until I started reading my own book about how pathetic I was as a human being. I can blame my dad, I can blame kids at school, I can blame having health issues, ADD with my mom not being around. Great mom, but she was doing her thing. I can blame a lot of people. And that's the book I was reading. And I put it off on everybody else. It wouldn't, you know what, for me to fix this, I gotta read what the fuck is wrong with David Goggins. And I blame anybody. Read my book, it's okay. I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? Go in the military, get your ass kicked, do things you hate to do. Be uncomfortable every fucking day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Okay. Instead of somebody saying, oh no, you're smart. No, don't say that to yourself. I said to myself, no, I'm a dumb motherfucker. Okay, roger that. How do you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from, we run from the truth. We're running from the truth, man. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right,
What up?
who I am today. I speak from suffering. I speak from suffering. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to
Suffer. To grow.
To grow, you must suffer. I speak from suffering. From suffering.
Yeah, baby, what's cracking? It's that Stoic Meaningwave situation. Shouts out to everybody locked in live. What's up, chat? Comstock, good to see you. What up, free consciousness? Quit coping, embrace the suffering, and aim up. Exactamente. He says, Roger that. New Barbecue wants to know who's going to carry the boats and the logs. Good question. 10 questions saying still can't answer. Shouts out to everyone who's sending me their Spotify Wrapped. I'm getting literally hundreds and hundreds, it might be thousands of messages, particularly on Instagram for some reason. And I've been like diligently answering them because I'm very appreciative of everybody who spends their time listening to Meaningwave. And I basically, once a message is 24 hours old, it's disappeared. So I've been working my butt off to make sure answer messages, and I'm like 19 hours behind currently. So I'm catching up slightly. But what's fascinating about these is when is the way like people send you the list of what their favorite stuff is, right? Their top artists. And I get a lot of, there's many, and it's wonderful, thank you very much, where Akira the Don is the top artist. But then there's occasionally someone will send one where Akira the Don isn't the top artist, and you're like, how dare you? How dare someone else be your top artist? And it's funny, it's just the funny stuff it is. Sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, my wife got hold of my Spotify this year and it kind of fucked it up, so you're only number 2. And number 1 is Taylor Swift. And that's happened on multiple occasions. What's this one here? Look at this one here. You see that one? Nicki Minaj at number 5. Alan Watts at number 4. What is that? Shapeshifter at number 3. Akira the Don at number 2. Taylor Swift at number 1. Absolutely beautiful. What's this one here? Akira the Don at number 1. Bad Bunny at number 2. Tycho at number 3 from Gustavo Gomez. That's very nice. What's this one? Member. I don't know who that is. This one's funny. Number 1. The Misfits. Number 2. Akira the Don. Danzig, Kanye West, and the Wu-Tang. That's a good list. Good list. What's this one? This is very interesting. Number 3, Lady Gaga. Number 2, Health. Number 1, Akira the Don. What are these strange bedfellows? Absolutely strange bedfellows in the Spotify Wrapped. Absolutely fascinating. What's this one? Number 5, Eminem. Number 4, Jocko Willink there. Number 3, Nicki Minaj. Number 2, Purple Disco Machine. And number 1, Akira the Don from Michael Hassan. Shouts out to you. Ricky Major. What's it? Number 5, Jordan Peterson. Number 4, Tyson James. Number 3, Jocko Willink. Number 2, Aesop Rock. Number 1, Akira the Don. That's a Meaningwave enjoyer. Here's another one. Another one of these weird ones. Look at that. Number 5, Scarlord. Number 4, Danaheim Music. Number 3, Treehouse Katori. Number 2, Akira the Don. Number 1, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, it seems now, is my mortal enemy. Taylor Swift seems to be my number 1 competition out there. And if I cared about other people in music and was in playing that game, I would have to declare war on Taylor Swift, wouldn't I? Some people out here have excellent taste, and it really is an honor to be a part of your excellent taste journey. This one, what's this one? Cypress Hill at number 5, Slightly Stupid number 4, Bones at number 3. I love Bones. Number 2, Fred again. Number 1, me! Big shout out to everyone who's enjoying Meaningwave. Appreciate you.
The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey.
New Barbecue has suggested a Taylor Swift / Meaningwave collab tour. That's the way to do it.
In comparing sins, the way that people do, Theophrastus says those done out of desire are worse than those
Done out of anger, which is good philosophy.
The angry man seems to turn his back on
Reason out of a kind of pain and in a convulsion.
but the man motivated by desire, who is mastered by pleasure, seems somehow more self-indulgent, less manly in his sins. Theophrastus is right and philosophically sound to say the sin committed out of pleasure deserves a harsher rebuke than the one committed out of pain. The angry man is more like a victim of wrongdoing, provoked by pain to anger. The other man rushes into wrongdoing on his own.
Move to action by desire. You could leave right now.
Determine what you do and say and think.
You could leave right now. Yeah.
You could leave life right now.
You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could leave life right now. Life right now.
If the gods exist, and to abandon human beings is not frightening, the gods would never subject you to harm. And if they don't exist, or don't care what happens to us, what would be the point of living in a world
Without God's or providence. Huh?
But they do exist.
They do care what happens to us.
And everything a person needs to avoid real harm,
They have placed within them.
if there were anything harmful on the other side of death, they would have made sure that the ability to avoid it was within you. If it doesn't harm your character, how can it harm your life?
Huh?
Nature would not overlook such dangers through failing to recognize, or because it saw them but was powerless to prevent or correct them. To prevent or correct them. Hey, nor would it ever, through inability or incompetence, make such a mistake as to let good and bad things happen indiscriminately to good and bad alike. Good and bad alike.
Good and bad alike.
But death and life, success and failure, pain and pleasure, wealth and poverty,
All these happen to good and bad alike. Hey, good and bad alike. Hey, good and bad alike. Hey, good and bad alike.
but death and life, success and failure, pain and pleasure, all these happen to
Good and bad alike.
and they ain't neither noble nor shameful, and hence they're neither good.
Noah, hey, you could leave.
Life right now. Let that determine what you do and
life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could live life right now. You could live life right now. Bap! What a banger. You Can Leave Life Right Now, Akira the Donna Marcus Aurelius from Volume 1 of Meditations. Meditations Volume 1. Volume 2 coming soon, baby. So soon. I'm pretty excited. I got the first master to listen to. First mix from James over in Australia, who's adding that final polish to the album right now. After this stream, I'm going to eat a steak and then I'm going to listen to that. See where we at. What up, Sagittarius, you bad man? Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Says top 5 are Akira, Alan Watts, JBP, Naval, Jocko. Yeah, come on. Yo, them 100% Meaningwave Spotify lists. I noticed a shift this year. I noticed a bunch of artists posting like Spotify things, but they changed the writing on them to make digs about Spotify not paying them. Weird Al Yankovic sent out a video. Did anyone see my video? They get you to record a video and they say they're gonna give it to the top fans, but like I don't know if anyone actually got it. But anyway, Weird Al Yankovic did one. And he went, hey, to all my Spotify fans, thank you so much for listening. I've been listened to 70 million times on this app. That means, I believe, if my math is correct, I've earned $7. $7. That's enough for a sandwich. Thank you very much for the sandwich. It's not actually. It's more like, what is it, like $4,000 per million? So what's $4,000 times 70 million? Was that 280,000? So it's a couple sandwiches. It's a couple sandwiches, Weird Al Yankovic. Don't be complaining too hard, but I do get it. Problem is, man, Spotify is compromised. Spotify got the most fucked up business model on earth because the only reason Spotify gets to exist is because they did a deal with the proverbial devil, which is Universal Music. And the other companies, but it was Universal that were really forcing the issue. And I know because I was there. And at one point I was working with a company that was doing what Spotify did. Like, I don't know how many years before Spotify, it was in 2000. And basically Universal cock-blocked it at the last minute. Everyone was on board to go with it. It was going to be, this was like before even iTunes was really cracking. And it was basically like streaming and downloading, but you pay a monthly fee and da-da-da-da-da. But Universal cock-blocked it. And in the end, Universal only let Spotify through under agreement that basically they get, what is it? It's something crazy. Spotify has to pay like 70 or 80% of what they earn directly to the record companies just for existing, and then they have to pay royalties on top of that. And they also had to give them a load of shares and shit as well. So basically, it's kind of impossible for Spotify to be profitable, almost impossible. You know, they pay 0.004 cents per stream, roughly. Give or take. This is an amazing thing. But it's also new, man. People humans adapt so quickly. It's as if it was always this way, and it was not always this way. You know what I mean? And this time in 10 years, it'll be different again. The only constant is change, baby. You already know. We're going to be here regardless. You know what I mean? We'll be doing our thing regardless. But suffice to say, like, own the music you love. That's my advice to you. And I'm a professional. I've been in this game for a long time, you know. I've been in this game for a proverbial minute. You know what I mean? that means a lot of time. When people say a minute, it means more than a minute. It means lots of minutes. I know it's confusing. I understand. Don't worry about it. But listen, my advice to you is to go to meaningwave.com and get some music. That's my advice to you. All right, go to meaningwave.com. Get yourself a CD or a cassette or some vinyl, or download some digital bundles. Those things are then yours. They're on your hard drive. You can press off CDs, you know, and in the event of any event, you're chill. You got your Meaningwave. All right, meaningwave.com, because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Woo! Hey, it's Alan Watts, world famous Stoic Alan Watts. Make some noise. Oh, this is Kylan. Do animals have soul? The Animals, you ever heard that? They got crazy soul. They were one of the best bands of the 60s. Ooh-wee!
So, this is a view of the world as a system of mutual exploitation and of maximal selfishness. Now, it's a very profitable view to explore. Everybody should do in their lifetime sometime. Two things. One is to consider death, to observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never.
That is a very gloomy thing for contemplation. But it's like manure. Just as manure fertilizes the plants and so on. So the contemplation of death and the acceptance of death is very highly generative of creative life. You get wonderful things out of that. And the other thing to contemplate is to follow the possibility of the idea that you are totally selfish. That you don't have a good thing to be said for you at all. You're a complete, utter
rascal.
You're a complete, utter
rascal!
Now, the Christians have avoided this. Because although they say in their Episcopalian form of confession that we have erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep, and we have followed too much the devices and desires of our own hearts, too much. We have offended against thy holy laws. We have left undone those things we ought to have done, and done those things which we ought not to have done, and there is no health in us. But it ought to be different. And we're going to do our best to amend with the help of God's grace. That is a real con act. If you equate health with genuine love and perfect unselfishness, then in that sense there is no health in us when we look at ourselves from this point of view. Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never!
Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. Consider death.
How often do you consider death? Brave Meaningwave enjoyer.
Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
One of my I guess my mantra is a very simple one. Discipline equals freedom.
Yeah. Equal. 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 Uh-huh.
The answer is discipline. You want more free time? Follow a more disciplined time management system.
Uh-huh.
You want
Don't
financial
want to
freedom?
be there.
Implement long-term financial discipline in your life. Do you want to be physically free to move how you want? To be freed from many issues caused by poor lifestyle choices?
Don't want to be
Then you have to have the discipline to eat healthy food and consistently work out. We all want freedom. Discipline is the only way to get it.
Get it.
Discipline.
Equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals
Discipline.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom.
What?
Equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals
Discipline.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom.
Discipline starts with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. It is working out every day. It is eating the right foods to fuel your system correctly. It is disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It is about having the discipline to control your ego so it doesn't get out of hand and control you. It is about treating people the way you would want to be treated. It is about doing the tasks you don't want to do, but you know will help you. Discipline is about facing your fears so you can conquer them. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what is right for you and for others.
You did.
Discipline.
Equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals
Discipline.
equals freedom, equals freedom,
Equals.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals
Discipline.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals
Discipline.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom.
So often,
Yeah.
the easy path calls us to be weak
What?
for that moment.
Uh-huh.
To break down another time, to give in to desire and short-term gratification. Discipline will not allow
Man down. Cameraman down.
Discipline.
Ceiling camera is down.
and
Oh,
fortitude
ceiling camera.
and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate a breakdown in will. Discipline can seem like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can, and it will put you on the path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness.
What are we supposed to do?
Well, I keep saying, de-emphasize anxiety.
Yeah.
Reassure people. You meet people who say, you know, I'm really scared. I'm scared about my job. I'm scared. And so you say, you know, don't worry. You don't know enough to worry. That's God's truth. Who do you think you are? You should worry for crying out loud. Don't worry. That's God's truth. It's a total waste of time.
Smash that like.
Poses
Meaningwave!
of the
Nuke that like from orbit.
It is in fact a form of hubris.
Make some noise for yourselves. And don't be worrying.
Now, what you
We don't need warriors.
just pay your
We need warriors.
pack, eat if you need to.
Kanye West said that.
Don't worry. That's all. Yes. Worry is praying to the devil. That's great. Worry is betting against yourself. You know, Wi Po Yang, a great Chinese Taoist who wrote many, many commentaries on the I Ching. He was asked at the end of his life, what was his conclusion of a life of studying the I Ching? He said, worry is preposterous.
Worry is preposterous. What worry is preposterous.
That was it. Don't worry.
You don't know enough to worry.
That's God's truth.
Who do you think you are that you should worry? For crying out loud.
That's God's truth.
You don't know enough to worry. That's God's truth. Who do you think you are that you should worry? For crying out loud. What?
Worry is preposterous. Don't worry.
Worry is preposterous. What? Worry is preposterous.
Worry is preposterous. Worry is preposterous.
Yeah.
That's God's truth.
That's God's truth. We got Cindy Bailey in the building. Make some noise for Meaningwave legend. Meaningwave Autonomous Zone legend Cindy Bailey says, I sleep better after using Meaningwave. I used to worry to no end. Like a drug. That's real. We don't need warriors. We need warriors. Come out and play a... What was it I used to say? I used to say, worry is praying for what you do not want.
That's God's truth.
And then I heard Terence say, worry is praying to the devil. I was like, oof. That's even more real. It's not just praying for what you don't want, it's praying to the actual devil.
That's God's truth.
And we ain't about that, baby. I am not interested in the doctrine of Lucifer. That shit is cringe. Illuminate these nuts. You did!
That's God's truth.
Happiness is fleeting, and suffering requires a sustaining meaning. Happiness is fleeting, and suffering requires a sustaining meaning. That place where the meaning and the fact are conjoined. That's the proper place to lecture from. What you want to do as an academic is tell your students about something that you've encountered, that you've fallen in love with, and to communicate the love that you have for that. And not to say, well, you should read this book, but to say, well, here's this book, and here's what it can open up for you, and this is how it does it. This is what you'll gain from it. There's something in it that's of unbelievable utility, and you have to believe that in order to communicate it. To communicate that commitment you have to beauty and to truth and to literature, it isn't enough to say what they are and to transmit them. It's to manifest yourself as a living part of that tradition and to show yourself thereby as a model for living out what that tradition represents, and to show that that's so much better than like a short-term pleasure-seeking nihilism. They're not even in the same conceptual universe. And people are far more open to that. They know already. People know, especially when they're hurt. They know that happiness is fleeting. Yeah!
Suffering requires sustaining meaning.
They know
Happiness is fleeting.
and that
Suffering requires sustaining meaning.
King's Chapel, the people who started it didn't live to see its completion. They were driven by this nobility of transcendent vision, and they produced these enduring forms out of the bloody misery of history. We've erected all this spectacular infrastructure that we're so fortunate to be part of. None of that gratitude is taught. It's partly not taught because people have no sense of the absolute catastrophe of history. It's like nasty, brutish, and short. The simplest and most likely social circumstances. Catastrophe punctuated by hell. And to see that not happening in a sustained manner constantly, and to see things improving around us, and to be reliable in that manner, and then not to be grateful for that, it's an unbelievable combination of ignorance, ingratitude, and willful blindness. And to not instill that sense in young people, for them to understand that they are standing on the bones of generations of people who suffered to make this possible, despite all their errors, and brought this forward. Happiness is fleeting. And suffering requires a sustaining meaning. They know happiness is fleeting. And that suffering requires a sustaining meaning. We could concentrate on building the future instead of criticizing the past. You start in the world, if you have some wisdom and some humility, by taking the potential that lies dormant in front of you and interacting with it in the logos-like manner, with truth and with love, and by transforming that potential into whatever you can create out of it that's good. It won't be small if you do that. You can transform your whole household by transforming your room. You can transform your whole neighborhood by transforming your house. Like, these things spread very, very rapidly, and that is right there in front of you. People think they're impoverished, they don't have any opportunity, and the opportunity is hidden from them by their unwillingness to take the steps that are necessary to put what they could put in front of them in order, and to produce the beauty instead of the ugliness where they could do that. And I don't think there is anything more powerful than that.
That works! Happiness is fleeting. Suffering requires sustaining meaning.
They know
Happiness is fleeting. Suffering requires sustaining meaning. Happiness is fleeting. Suffering requires sustaining meaning.
they know
Happiness is fleeting. Suffering requires sustaining meaning. Whoa!
everyone who's lived knows that. And so to say, well, here's a balm for the suffering, and it's profound and deep, and here's what it's meant to me, and here's how you can incorporate it into your life. People are absolutely starving for that, or dying of thirst for that.
Persistence, self-reliance always, strength, perseverance, self-control, hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, cheerful, strength, perseverance, self-control. unwavering adherence to decisions once he'd reached them. Indifference to superficial honors. Listening to anyone who could contribute to the public good. His dogged determination to treat people as they deserved. A sense of when to push and when to back off. His altruism. Not expecting his friends to keep him entertained at dinner or to travel with him. And anyone who had to stay behind to take care of something always found him the same when he returned. His searching questions at meetings, a kind of single-mindedness, almost, never content with first impressions or breaking up the discussion prematurely. His constancy to friends, never getting fed up with them, or playing favorites. And his advanced planning.
Well advanced.
And his discreet attention to even minor things. His restrictions on acclamations. And all attempts to flatter him, his constant devotion to the empire's needs, his stewardship of the treasury, willingness to take responsibility
and blame for both.
His attitude to the gods, no superstitiousness. His attitude to men, no demagoguery, no currying favor, no pandering. Always sober, always steady, never vulgar or a prey to fads. No currying favor, no pandering. Always steady, never vulgar or a prey to fads.
Yeah!
Hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, strength, perseverance, self-control. Hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, cheerful strength, perseverance, self-control. The way he handled the material comforts that fortune had supplied him in such abundance, without arrogance and without apology. If they were there, he took advantage. If not, he didn't miss them. No one ever called him glib or shameless or pedantic. They saw him for what he was, a man tested by life, accomplished, unswayed by flattery, qualified to govern, both himself and them.
Both himself and them.
His respect for people who practiced philosophy, at least for those sincere about it, but without denigrating the others or listening to them. His ability to feel at ease with people and to put them at their ease without being pushy. His willingness to take adequate care of himself. Not a hypochondriac obsessed with his appearance, but not ignoring things either. With the result that he hardly ever needed medical attention,
or drugs or any sort of salve or ointment. This in particular, this in particular, this in particular.
Willingness to yield the floor to experts in oratory, law, psychology, whatever, and to support them energetically, so each could fulfill his potential. He respected tradition without need to constantly congratulate himself for safeguarding traditional values. Not prone to go off on tangents or pulled in all directions, but sticking with the same old places and the same old things. The way he could have one of his migraines, then go right back to what he was doing.
Fresh at the top of his game.
So few secrets, only state secrets, in fact.
And not all that many of those.
The way he kept public actions within reasonable bounds, games, building projects, because he looked to what needed doing and not the credit to be gained from doing it. No bathing at strange hours, no self-indulgent building projects, no concern for food or the cut and colour of his clothes, or having attractive slaves. He never exhibited rudeness, lost control of himself, turned violent. No one saw him sweat. Then was to be approached logically and with due consideration, in a calm and orderly fashion, but decisively, with no loose ends. You could have said of him that he knew how to enjoy and abstain from things that most find hard to abstain from, and all too easy to enjoy. But to be strong enough both to bear the one, to be sober in the other, is the mark of a man with a perfect and invincible soul. Hey! But to be strong enough both to bear the one, to be sober in the other, is the mark of a man with a perfect and invincible soul. Yeah. Hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, strength, perseverance, self-control. Hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, cheerful strength, perseverance, self-control. Yo!
Yeah! Meaningwave Autonomous Zone, what the flip is up? Yeah, 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 yeah! Yeah, 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 yeah! Hard work and persistence, self-reliance always, strength, perseverance, self-control. Ooh, oh, oh. Hard work and persistence, self-reliance, always cheerful, strength, perseverance, self-control. Ooh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh. What a flipping banger. Meditations Volume 1 really was an incredible collection of nukes. It does seem to me. Speaking of nukes, nuke the like button. Quick, nuke it. Nuke it! Nuke it like it committed a war crime and the only thing you could do in retaliation was a bigger war crime. Hey, big up you lot. What up, Nicholas Young? What up, Otis Kylan? Jesse Gibson? Sheila? Shecky? Mike Can in the place with the plan. Cindy Bailey, what's up? Free Consciousness, what's up? Nicholas Young, qualified to govern both himself and them. I remember the moment I realized this. I was drinking too much. I was intoxicated. And I said to myself, how can you lead a home if you can't even lead yourself? Yo, baby. Many of us have come to similar realizations. How can I lead an army of wave riders if I cannot lead myself? I thought to myself one day. Yes. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by weirdos and creepy nonsense. It is your duty as a noble wave rider to look around you as you stride boldly forward on the path, like the Giga Chad and Chadet you are. And look around you at the detritus and the horror. But don't bear it too much mind. Don't let it distract you from your path. Your golden path. The glittering yellow brick road that leads you along the path of righteousness to your ultimate aim. The realization of your true potential. Your victory over the devil and all that would tempt you, lead you astray, and try and take you from your bold golden path. Nay, brother and sister! We shall not be led astray. We shall stride boldly forward to our destiny. What else is there to do?
Default aggressive.
Yeah! Meaningwave, make some noise!
Akira.
Blah!
Do you know who Akira the Dawn is?
Of course.
Proactive and aggressive are similar, and they are both good. You certainly have to be proactive in the world. You want to be dictating what happens, not responding to it. And yes, that means creating or controlling a situation as much as you can.
Yeah.
Being aggressive. That means you are ready to attack. Always point out, this doesn't mean you walk around with your chest puffed out, ready to bang heads with everyone around you. It doesn't mean you confront people physically or mentally head on without a tactically superior plan. It doesn't mean you go straight forward into conflict without thought and without reason. It doesn't mean you engage in attrition warfare. No, that is almost never smart.
No! Default aggressive!
You are going to get after it.
default aggressive. You're gonna get after it.
You're going to move fast. You are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver
the enemy.
If I think the enemy is going to attack me, I'm going to attack them first. If I think they are going to seize a piece of terrain, I am going to be there waiting for them.
Imagine that.
If I think the enemy is going to flank me, too late, I'm already flanking them. I don't view aggression as an outward attitude. I view aggression as an internal character trait. A fire in your mind. I am going to win.
Wait! What?
I am going to win.
Yes, where I'm from, we have to be very aggressive.
I am going to win. Yes. Yeah! Default!
You are going to get after it.
You gotta get after
it. Move fast, you are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver
the enemy!
Default aggressive. You are going to get after it. You are going to move fast. You are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver. I am going to battle, and I am going to fight, and I am going to use every tool I have to crush.
Perfect.
And that tool might be fists, but it might be guile. It might be a frontal attack, but it might be a flanking maneuver.
Standard flanking.
It might be an undeniable display of force. But it also might be a subtle political maneuver. And that is what aggression is to me. The unstoppable fighting spirit, the drive, the burning desire to achieve mission success using every possible tool, asset, and strategy and tactic to bring about victory.
Default!
You are going to get after it.
You're gonna move fast, you're gonna think fast, you're gonna outwit and outmaneuver
the enemy.
Default aggressive.
You are going to get after it. You are going to move
fast.
You are going to think
fast.
You are going to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy. Of internal, relentless aggression is your default mode, you will tell you something else. And I want to make this clear. Don't just listen. Don't just listen.
What's that? No! Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen, dude.
I'm not just talking. So you know, I'm not just talking. I'm doing. And I don't want you to just put this information to work. Make today count. Every day.
Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen.
Go forward. Get aggressive and attack. Whether it's on the battlefield or on the beat, or in the factory, or on the farm, or on the construction site, or on the website. Garage or in the firehouse, don't hesitate.
Go, do. Don't just listen. Do. Yo, make some noise in the chat if you about that do life. You doing it. You doing it well. Don't just listen. You smash that like yet? Don't just listen to me telling you to smash that like. Do it! Do it!
Step forward. Get after it.
Woo! If you spoke your mind.
There are remarkable people who come into the world from time to time, and there are people who do find out over decades-long periods what they could be like if they were who they were. If they spoke their being forward. And they get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we don't know the limits to that. We do not know the limits to that. And so you could say, well, in part, perhaps the reason that you're suffering unbearably can be left at your feet, because you're not everything you could be.
And you know it. And you know it. And you know it. You're not everything you could be, and you know it. You know it. Whoa, let's go. What would you be like? What would you be like if you stop wasting time? If you spoke your
And of course, that's a terrible thing to admit, and it's a terrible thing to consider, but there's real promise in it.
Make some flipping noise!
Perhaps there's another way that
wave emojis in the chat, blast it.
You could act in the world, and what it would reflect back to you would be much better than what it reflects back to you now. Imagine many people did that. We've done a lot as human beings. We've done a lot of remarkable things, and I told you already today, for example, about 250,000 people will be lifted out of abject poverty. We're lifting people out of poverty collectively at a faster rate that's ever occurred in the history of humankind by a huge margin. So there's inequality developing in many places, and you hear lots of political agitation about that. But overall, the tide is lifting everyone up, and that's a great thing. We have no idea how fast we can multiply that if people got their act together and really aimed at it. If people got their act together and really aimed at it. What would you be like?
Yo, what would you be like if you stopped wasting time? What would you be like? What would you be like if you spoke your mind? Yeah. What would you be like? What would you be like?
My experience is with people that we're probably running at about 51% of our capacity. I often ask how many hours a day you waste or how many hours a week you waste. The classic answer is something like 4 to 6 hours a day. Inefficient studying, watching things that not only do you not want to watch, that you don't even care about, that make you feel horrible about watching after you're done. That's probably 4 hours right there. Well, that's 25 hours a week. It's 100 hours a month. That's 2.5 full work weeks. It's half a year of work weeks. Per year, you're wasting $50,000 a year. And you are doing that right now. And so if your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be, who knows how much more efficient? 10 times more efficient. 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get. It's completely, it's off the charts. What would you be like?
What would you be like? What would you be like?
What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like? we all got our act together collectively and stop making things worse, because that's another thing people do all the time. Not only do they not do what they should to make things better, they actively attempt to make things worse because they're spiteful or resentful or arrogant or deceitful or homicidal or genocidal or all of those things all bundled together in an absolutely pathological package. If people stop really, really trying just to make things worse, we have no idea how much better they would get just because of that. So you might say, well, what would happen if you abided by your conscience for 5 years? Or what sort of position might you be in? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like?
What would you be like? What would you be like if you spoke your mind out? What would you be like if you stopped wasting time? What would you be like? What would you be like?
Did you find what happens, not I don't care what happens. I don't care is it's dismissive. It's a loving indifference, a benevolent indifference, as Francis used to say. It's not an indifference that is cold. Because awareness is not an aloof, separate witness of experience locked up in an ivory tower of indifference. It is intimately one with all experience, so its intimacy is its loving aspect. It doesn't know the meaning of the word resistance or rejection, so it is intimately one with, and at the same time free of, all experience. So it is both loving and indifferent. So it is both loving and indifferent. So it is not a cold indifference. It's a loving indifference. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. There is a meaning to the words true and false, right and wrong. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. The qualities that are inherent in our true nature. We're speaking about awareness. If we talk about mind, that's a different matter. Because mind's experience is always divided into polarities. Good and bad, right and wrong, true and false. And at the level of mind, those categories are valid. They don't pertain to consciousness. Consciousness doesn't know the difference between good and bad. There is no good and bad or right or wrong. But when consciousness assumes the form of mind, it divides itself into two. And at that level, there are differences, there are distinctions, and there is a meaning to the words. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. There is a meaning to the words true and false, right and wrong. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. The qualities that are inherent in our true nature. So in terms of ethics, what is right and what is wrong? I would suggest what is right at the level of the mind is behavior that expresses the qualities that are inherent in our true nature. Another name for awareness is love. So behavior that is loving is an expression of the inherent quality of our true nature. true nature. Nothing indifferent. We're speaking about awareness. Nothing indifferent.
There is a meaning to the words true, false, right and wrong.
Nothing indifferent.
We're speaking about
awareness. Nothing indifferent. The
qualities that are inherent in our true nature.
Cruel or unkind, unjust, unloving behavior are behaviors that, whilst they come originally from awareness, there's nowhere else they could come from. They are filtered through the belief in separation, and as they are filtered through separation, they are perverted or distorted. So hatred, for instance, is love distorted by the sense of separation. So hatred, for instance, is love or distorted by the sense of separation.
Rupert Spirit right there.
Akira.
Now who we got voting? Oh boy, is it Epictetus? Oh, come on. Huh?
In every event, consider what precedes and follows,
And then undertake it.
Otherwise, you will begin with spirit and not having thought of the consequences when some of them appear. You will shamefully desist.
I will conquer at the Olympic Games.
But consider what precedes and then, if it is for your advantage, engage in the affair.
Yeah.
Conform to rules.
Whoa.
Submit to a diet.
Whoa.
Refrain from dainties.
Whoa.
Exercise your body, whether you choose it or not. At a stated hour, if you are cold, you must drink no cold water, not even
Wine.
in a word, you must give yourself up to your master, as to a physician. Then, in the combat, you may be thrown into a ditch, dislocate your arm, turn your ankle, swallow dust, be quick. And after all this, be defeated. If a person gave your body to any stranger who met his way, you would certainly be angry. And do you feel no shame in handing over your own mind to be abused and mystified by anyone who happens to verbally attack you?
Huh?
If a person gave your body to any stranger who met on his way, you would certainly be angry. And do you feel no shame in handing over your own mind to be confused and mystified by anyone who happens to verbally attack you?
Huh?
When you've evaluated all this, if your inclination still holds,
Then go to war.
Otherwise take notice, you will behave like children who sometimes play like wrestlers,
Sometimes gladiators.
who sometimes blow a trumpet and sometimes act a tragedy when they have seen and admired these shows. Thus you too will be at one time a wrestler, another gladiator, now philosopher, then a racer, but with your whole soul, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Like an ape, you mimic
Oh, you see.
and one thing after another is sure to please you, but it is out of favor once it becomes familiar. For you have never answered nothing considerately, nor after having viewed the whole matter on all sides, or made any scrutiny into it rather rashly, and with a cold inclination.
Cold inclination.
If a person gave your body to any stranger he met on his way, you would certainly be angry. And do you feel no shame in hanging over your own mind to be confused and mystified by anyone who happens to verbally attack you?
Huh?
If a person gave you bodies. When he's strange remount his way, you would certainly be angry. And do you feel no shame in handing over your own mind to be confused and mystified by anyone who happens to verbally attack you? Oh!
Huh? Yo, that's Stoic Wave. Epictetus in the dawn. Enchiridion. You won't find that!
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. If you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better.
Okay, there is no easy way.
There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline.
Discipline. There must be discipline.
Just look at me and say, good. Good. And I said, well, yeah. And I mean it. And that is how I feel. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Didn't get funded? Good. We own more of the company. Didn't get the job you wanted? Good. You can get more experience and build a better resume. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. representative of life. You don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily.
They take time.
They take struggle. They take relentless pursuit day in and day out. That's what it takes.
That's why I say
You gotta pay attention.
you gotta pay attention.
Watch
Every second.
every single second.
Why?
Every second counts.
Uh-huh.
Every second counts. Every second counts.
What's up, though?
Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts.
That's right. Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. Make some noise for yourselves.
Usually fall apart.
Akira the Dawn, we in the house. We've been doing that Stoic wave thing.
Process
We've been in here for the past 2 hours.
here.
Purely Stoic Meaningwave bangers.
Down.
That's pretty much it. That is it. Nothing else. Maybe we had a little bit of a chat this, that, and the other. We got after it.
Success in
Every second counts at.
slow processes. Either slowly
Clock is ticking.
is up or gradually.
Do with that what you may.
That's why I say you've gotta pay attention.
Love you.
That's why
I say, you gotta pay attention. You have to watch every second. Why?
every single second,
Cause
every second counts.
every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. What up, dog? Thank you all for being here.
Into minutes,
Make some noise for yourself.
turn into hours.
Bah!
Hours turn into days, and days turn into years.
Years, baby.
That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second, and so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground
Oh.
or losing ground in that second.
And in every second. Why? That's why I say you gotta pay attention. You have to watch every fucking second. What?
Every single second, because
Every second counts.
every second counts.
Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts. Every second counts.
Every second counts. Every second counts.
Whoa, 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 oh, oh. Shouts out to all the Meaningwave enjoyers out there. Thank you for being here. If you want to support Meaningwave, Meaningwave is sponsored by Meaningwave.com. Yeah. Head on over to Meaningwave.com. Get yourself something special today. We got CDs, we got vinyl, we got shirts. We got a resources button in which you can click a button that says support Meaningwave right there. Lists ways you can support Meaningwave. You got a PayPal link, there's a Bitcoin link, an ETH link, a Venmo link, a Cash App. You can subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon's cool. You get to watch deleted streams that have been yeeted for reasons of copyright. You can watch them there at your leisure. You know what I mean? You can become a channel member, support the stream in that way. Many ways you can support the stream, and we appreciate you doing so. Without you, we do not exist. We are the tree that falls in the forest with no motherfucker there to turn those wiggly waves into noises. You turn our wiggly waves into noises, Meaningwave enjoyer, and we appreciate you. Every second counts, every second counts. Every second counts, every second counts. Every second counts. Nicholas Young says, does the complete collection include future music? No, of course not. Of course not. Do you know how much music I make? Do you know how much music we're going to continue to make forever? Complete collection includes everything that has been released thus far. And if you want to make sure you get everything going forward, if you're on the Patreon, you get it. If you're on the channel members, you get it. If you're on the Bandcamp subscription, you get it. Boom! That's what you do. You get that complete collection, then you subscribe to one of those things, and you get everything forever. Life is good. Life is good! Every second. King of Lo-Fi Christmas tomorrow. You know? King of Lo-Fi Christmas tomorrow. What else tomorrow? We're gonna have we're gonna get on stream. We're gonna go fucking. We're gonna have a disco. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a rave. We're gonna go off like Frank Goff. Not Frank Goff. Van Gogh. We're gonna go like that. We're gonna go off like the air from Van Gogh. All right, don't you worry about a thing, baby. See you all tomorrow. Love you very much. Love you very, very much. Thank you. God bless. Good night. Nicholas Young, welcome to level 2. Let's get ready to rumble.